All right, today we are diving deep into the incredible story of the Maya civilization. And let me tell you, it's a wild tale of jungle engineers, math wizards, and masters of the stars. So picture this. Deep in the jungles of Central America, a civilization builds these magnificent stone cities with temples and pyramids so tall they burst right through the canopy. But who were these amazing architects? And it wasn't just about building. These folks were so smart, they actually developed one of the single most important concepts in all of mathematics, way before most of the world caught on. Who were these geniuses? Now here's the biggest puzzle of all. After centuries of just pure brilliance, their huge cities, they weren't conquered, they weren't destroyed. The people just left. Why? Well, that's the mystery we're going to try and unravel today. To find any answers, you know we have to go back, right back to the beginning, to see exactly how this incredible civilization first put down its roots in the heart of the jungle. So the Maya popped up thousands of years ago, and they learned to thrive in a really tough environment. I mean, they didn't just survive in the jungle, they completely mastered it, building a society that would go on to last for centuries. You can think of it like this. The Mayas started out as these small farming communities, kind of like seeds scattered on the forest floor. But with time and a whole lot of innovation, they grew into a civilization as mighty and as complex as the giant trees that surrounded them. And their growth was just remarkable. They started by mastering farming in these small villages, which gave them the stability they needed to build unbelievable cities like Tikal. And all of this led to what historians now call the Classic Period, the absolute peak of their power and their creativity. Now, when you have thriving cities, that creates the space for some incredible breakthroughs. And for the Maya, that meant becoming true masters of numbers, of time, and of the written word. And this might be their most famous achievement of all. Yeah, it looks simple, right? Just a zero. But the concept of zero was a completely revolutionary idea, and it became the bedrock for all of their advanced mathematics. I mean, this put them so incredibly far ahead of their time. While other great civilizations were still figuring out their numbering systems, the Maya were already using zero. For them, it was a total game changer, and it's what made their really complex calculations about the stars even possible. And their genius didn't stop at math. Oh no. They were meticulous astronomers, charting the heavens to create this super precise calendar that governed basically everything, from when to plant crops to when to hold religious ceremonies. And they wrote it all down, their history, their beliefs, in a complex and frankly beautiful hieroglyphic script. But what was fueling this whole civilization of builders and thinkers? Well, to really understand the Maya, you have to understand their food, especially one crop that was at the absolute center of their world. Corn or maize, it wasn't just food for the Maya. It was sacred. It was a core part of who they were. They literally believed that the gods shaped the very first humans out of corn dough. So naturally, corn was the hero of every meal. Think tortillas, porridge, you name it. But their diet was pretty well-rounded, too, with beans and squash, and they loved to spice things up with chili peppers. A simple but really powerful foundation for their entire culture. But beyond the staples, they discovered something truly special, a food they considered a gift from the gods themselves, a drink that was reserved for royalty and sacred rituals. Any guesses what it might be? Chocolate. That's right. The Maya were the first people to cultivate cacao beans, and they made this bitter, frothy drink out of them. Now, forget the sweet candy bars we have today. For them, this was a powerful, royal beverage. Just another one of their amazing gifts to the world. So, we have a civilization at its absolute peak, brilliant, well-fed, and powerful. And then, the great cities start to empty out. This is where the story takes a really puzzling turn. And this is the question that has fascinated historians for generations. There wasn't some big invading army, no single massive disaster that we know of. The people just left. They let the jungle swallow up their magnificent pyramids. But why? Okay, so while there isn't one single answer, scientists have pieced together several major clues. First, there's evidence of a really severe, long drought that would have totally devastated their corn crops. This probably led to the second clue, conflict between cities as they fought over resources that were becoming more and more scarce. And finally, their population might have just grown too large for the environment to support. It was likely a perfect storm of all these pressures coming together. But, and this is so important, the collapse of their big cities is not the collapse of the Maya people. It's really crucial to understand that their story continues, even today. The Maya civilization didn't just die or vanish into thin air. The people adapted. They moved away from the huge urban centers and into smaller communities, and they carried their culture and their traditions with them. The spirit of the people, it endured. In fact, today, millions of Maya descendants live in the very same regions as their ancestors. Many still speak Maya languages, and they blend ancient traditions with modern life, keeping their rich cultural heritage alive and vibrant. So, when you really think about it, the Maya story isn't about a lost civilization at all. It's a story of resilience. It proves that a culture is so much more than just its stone monuments. And that leaves us with one last thought. If a story we thought we knew has such a surprising ending, what other secrets are just waiting to be discovered in the pages of history?
Hello, my dear friends! If you enjoyed today's adventures, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to receive all the fun and exciting new stuff.